be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I've always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. If we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Good morning. Isn't that a beautiful song? Let's all sing it together. You have the words right there in the insert. We ready? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Very good. Thank you, Miss Janine. This is our wonderful pianist, Miss Janine. Janine Brobst played for Mr. Rogers when he first started out, and she has lots of fabulous stories about him and his family. So after we're done here, you're going to have to come up and ask her some. And now here is her daughter, Joellen, who used to call Mr. Rogers Uncle Fred.
Oh. I'm trying not to cry. Okay. I'm Joellen Essex. I'm treasurer of Unitarian Coastal Fellowship, and we want to welcome you here today. Get the cheat sheet. Okay. We would love to have, I know we have some visitors with us today. We'd love to have you stand up and just say who you are and where you're from. You're our neighbor today, but would you please, and let me start out by saying we have family here today. So we have, go ahead, stand up. We have Dan's son and daughter-in-law and our two grandchildren. This is Brian and Leslie Phillips and Carolyn and Juliet. So welcome. Anyone else? Yes.
Hi, I'm Darlene, my husband Tom, my two grandchildren, Malia and Garrett, and we're from Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay, good.
Good morning, I'm Susan Leyland, this is my husband Sam, and we are recently relocated to Buffalo, New York.
Oh, welcome.
And I'm a member here, Miriam, and I have friends here, Virginia Rutledge and Diana Rutledge, my dear friends from Maryland and from Raleigh.
Welcome.
We're Margie and Mike Hanson. We're Aria's grandparents.
And I'm Darby.
I'm Nick.
We just moved to the area. I'm an engineer, and he's working on going to law school.
Welcome. Now, you're invited to sign. We have a guest book in the foyer there. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm Louise Schaefer. I'm from Cape Carteret.
And I'm Joanne Bourdain from Emerald Island.
Oh, wow. This is wonderful. Good to have so many new faces. Wonderful. You're invited to sign the guest book in the foyer. And afterwards, you're invited to the social hall back through these doors where we'll have coffee and lots of treats and things. So please come and have something with us. This is a good time to turn off your cell phone, or if you have a child that's in the nursery, at least put it on vibrate. And there are, on the back of the order of service, there are some announcements, so you want to read those. And also we have two other announcements. Today we will be having UU 101, and it will be having lunch upstairs. So after about 12 o'clock probably, at noon, they'll probably start that lunch if you want to go upstairs and have lunch with UU 101.
11:45, so.
I think we're going to go a little later because we also are going over, like about 10 minutes after the service, we're going to grab something quick to eat. We're all going to go over and check out the new building that we're going to possibly be purchasing at 1305 Arundel Street. So everyone's welcome to come over and walk through and see what it is that we might, we want to vote on purchasing. So at that point, then I think UU 101 is going to start. Another announcement?
I just want to correct that UU 101 is for people who pre-registered. We don't have lunch enough for everybody.
Oh, okay. Sign up for UU 101, okay? Okay, anyone else? Okay, that's pretty much it. And, okay, thank you.
For this hour, in this place, in this neighborhood, set aside the business of the week. Set aside the busyness of every day. Let your whole self be present to this time of worship, this time of shaping and celebrating that which has worth. This morning we celebrate the humble love and gentleness of Mr. Fred Rogers. His quiet joy and peaceful teaching extend past his television show across our world, into our living rooms, and deep in our hearts. Please be ready to sing, laugh, and maybe tear up a little bit as we enter Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. I am sorry, I forgot who I asked to light the chalice. And I know I asked someone special. Who did I ask? Yes. May we and the worldwide neighborhood around us be inspired and enlightened by the flame that burns in our spirits and in our lives, and in this chalice of our living tradition, light of truth as we know it, fire of commitment as we practice it, and the warmth of our neighborhood as we live it into being. Thank you. Fred Rogers said, as human beings, our job in life is to help people realize how rare and valuable each one of us really is. That each one of us has something that no one else has or ever will have. Something inside that is unique throughout all time. It is our job to encourage each other to discover that uniqueness and provide ways of developing its expression. Look around you and see the wonderful uniqueness of each person. I see your uniqueness, and I like you just the way you are. Now, Joellen and Aria are going to sing I Like You As You Are one time through, just in case you don't know this wonderful song. And then we're going to do something completely different. This side of the church, after they sing, is going to sing to this side, and I want you to look at them and see all their uniqueness. And then after they sing, you're going to sing it right back to them because they're just as unique as you are. Okay? So we are going to start with Joellen and Aria, and they're going to sing I Like You As You Are first, teach you the song, and then this side will sing. You ready?
I like you as you are.
going to sing it. Look at those wonderful people over there. Let's sing it to them. Ready? I like you as you are, exactly and precisely. I think you turned out nicely, and I like you as you are. I like you as you are, without a doubt or question, or even a suggestion, 'cause I like you as you are. I like your disposition, your facial composition, and with your kind permission, I'll shout it to a star. I like you as you are. I wouldn't want to change you, or even rearrange you, not by far. I like you, I-L-I-K-E-Y-O-U. I like you, yes I do. I like you, I-O-U. I like you as you are. Well, thank you. You sit down. Please stand up on this side. We're going to return the favor because aren't they wonderful to sing to you? You as you are, exactly and precisely. I think you turned out nicely, and I like you as you are. I like you as you are, without a doubt or question, or even a suggestion. 'Cause I like you as you are. I like your disposition, your facial composition, and with your kind permission, I'll shout it to a star. I like you as you are. I wouldn't want to change you, or even rearrange you, not by far. I like you, I-L-I-K-E-Y-O-U. I like you, yes I do. I like you, I-O-U. I like you as you are. Now don't you feel like a neighborhood? Don't you feel like a neighborhood now? Wow. Oh my goodness. Now, I would like to ask all of the children to come up on stage. We're going to have a puppet show. I have puppets right over here, and pick out which puppet you want from the puppetry, or actually there's stuffed animals that you can have. Yes, you can use the string puppet if you want to. Absolutely. Come on up. I'm going to use this chair right here for Haley. There we go. Haley, come sit down right here for me. And we'll get you a stuffed animal. Which one do you like? Where's the tiger? I know, everybody wants the tiger right here. There's the tiger with the stripes right there. And come sit down on the pillows once you have your animal. Ready? Boop. There you go. And go ahead and sit down on the pillows. Which one do you like? Had anybody look at the bear? Or the whale? Or the lion? It's hard to choose, isn't it? Oh, you want the one on the very top. Haley. Haley, would you like the bear? Haley? How about the bear? No? Go ahead and sit down. So our story today is going to be about Jimmy the Bear. And Jimmy the Bear, as you can see, is in uniform. His daddy is in the Marines. And he travels all over the place. And poor Jimmy the Bear does not know how to make friends. It's very hard to make friends when you're the new kid in the neighborhood, isn't it? Who's been the new kid in the neighborhood ever? Who's been the new kid in the neighborhood? Look at all those people. It's hard to make friends when you're first the new kid. So Jimmy the Bear says, "Won't you be my friend?" How do you play games with people that you've never met before? You don't know what games they play. Who would like to be the first puppet to talk? Let's go around. All right. You're Kitty. Well, how does Kitty make friends?
By sharing with them.
By sharing with them. I like that. And what do you have? Llama?
More like a sheep.
A sheep.
But it does have one hump.
So how does sheep make friends when sheep is the first one in the neighborhood, or the last one in the neighborhood? All the other kids know all the games, and sheep comes in. He doesn't know any of the games that the kids play in the neighborhood. What does sheep do?
It goes and asks for a friend, and then if somebody wants to play with it, he's being nice to it for the rest of the time.
Oh, that's nice. So he just goes and asks for someone to be his friend, and then he's nice to them. Okay. What is Pig's name? Piggy. What does Piggy say?
Piggy makes friends by seeing if they want to play with him.
What kind of games do piggies play?
Rolling in the mud.
Rolling in the mud. That's a good one. That's a good one. Owl. Owls make very good friends. Do you know why? They're very wise. How would Owl make friends with Jimmy the Bear?
Bring out candy for everyone.
Bring out candy for everyone. I really like that.
I like Ryan.
Look at the baby birds. How would baby birds make friends, Ryan?
Well, they would jump out of the nest and then go and stand next to the person and then follow them around a while.
Just follow them around for a while? Would they talk to them? No? Just quietly follow them around and see what they do. Because that's what birds say, right?
Well, most birds say tweet, not peep.
Well, Jimmy the Bear says thank you, and he wants to give each one of you a hug. Hug puppets, hug puppets. Oh, we're all going to be friends. Yay! Okay, let's put the puppets back. Thank you for helping me with that, children. And you don't have to put the owl all the way up. Do you know how to put it on the stick? Very good. Very good. Thank you. And after the service, you can come up and take a closer look at the puppets and play here for a little while if you want to. Because this is the kind of place that looks like you should play, huh? You can stay up here with me. No. I like Ryan. I can joke with Ryan. He doesn't care. If there is in your life this week a joy, a milestone, a sorrow, or a concern that you would like to mark. Come forward now in silence. Choose a stone or a piece of sea glass from the small wooden bowl on the low table, or there's some more over here on the side. Hold it in your hands and infuse it with your joy or your sorrow, and drop it gently into the water in the glass chalice as Janine softly plays music, which is a prayer. Please join me in the spirit of spoken prayer. Spirit of life and love, the murmur of a child in sleep, the turning of pages, the rocking embrace of comfort, resonates within our spirit like the very song of life, with strong, loving hands to hold, with the heartbreaking melody of a lullaby, with the soaring harmony of community. Spirit song, cradle song, song we knew from before we were born, song that carries us through our lives, song of sorrow and joy, challenge and triumph, ordinary moments and heart-stopping milestones. This morning our spirits whisper a song of comfort with and for those whom sorrow have visited this week. This morning our spirits sing out a song of gladness with and for those whom joy have visited this week. Karen Baggett enjoyed a wonderful time in Maine with longtime friends and beautiful scenery. And Pat and Ron Harms celebrated their 64th wedding anniversary. Spirit of life, song of our living, be with us in our joys and in our sorrows, in our hopes and in our fears, in our childlike innocence, in our fragile and resilient humanity. Soften the hearts and stay the hands of those who would lash out in fear, in hatred, in harm, in division. Strengthen the hearts and sustain the spirits of those who would reach out in love, in peace, in healing, in connection. This day and every day, may it be so. please take a moment of silence to add your own prayers to this prayer, to embrace life in all its fullness, the joys, the sorrows, the milestones that have been spoken aloud in prayer, those that were infused in the stones that rest in this chalice, and those that remain in the silence of your heart, too tender to be spoken. Amen. Mr. Rogers was a special teacher who used songs, puppets, and imagination to answer some of the more difficult questions children would ask. And they do ask difficult questions, don't they? When you are a child, everything is a mystery, and sometimes as an adult, it seems the child's questions are never ending. Joellen and Aria have a song that Mr. Rogers wrote about that. It's called Creation Duet. Joellen and Aria? Little songbirds we have here. Everything I need to know I learned from Mr. Rogers. Everything. Wonder about things. Accept people as they are. Look and listen carefully. We all have feelings. Ask a lot of questions. Haircuts don't hurt. Teach by example. Feed the fish. Share. Play. Love. Fred Rogers remains an icon of kindness for the ages. An innovator in children's television, his salt-of-the-earth demeanor and genuinely gentle nature taught generations of kids the value of kindness. Mr. Rogers was overweight and shy as a child and often taunted by his classmates when he walked home from school. I used to cry to myself when I was alone, he said, and I would cry through my fingers and make up songs on the piano. It was this experience that led Mr. Rogers to want to look below the surface of everyone he met, to what he called the essential invisible in them. Love is not a state of perfect caring, Mr. Rogers said. It is an active noun, like struggle. To love someone is to strive to accept that person exactly as they are. Did you ever notice that the traffic light in Mr. Rogers' set was always on yellow? That was to remind kids and parents to slow down a little, enjoy the day, enjoy each other. How many of us can say that it's always easy to love each other and accept each other as they are? It's never easy. But if we slow down and try to really get to know the other person and understand what the other person is going through or is dealing with, perhaps we can accept each other just the way they are.